rode high above the knee. You guys had flashbacks there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into this game a little bit because you do have a huge game for both of these teams conference-wise. For Virginia, how do they protect the home court?
Well, they've got to defend very well, especially defending the drive, because Duke is a team that loves to drive. This pack line defense got to be really connected. But London Parenta, the senior point guard from Los Angeles, has got to have a great game. He's averaging about 16 points per game in conference play. He's their leader in every regard. But I think he's got to put points on the board if Virginia wants to win at home.
Well, they don't give up a lot of points, but Duke does score a lot of points.
Well, what Duke wants to do is spread you out. They want to get as much early offense as they can. They do not want to have to play deep in the shot clock. The three-point line is going to be vital for them. And Luke Kennard, to me, with all that's gone on here at Duke, with the adversity and the injuries and Coach K missing, to me, he's been their most consistent player all season long.
O'Reilly Auto Parts starting lineup. Duke 20-5, Virginia 18-6, and for Virginia, the same starting lineup they have used now for 11 straight games. Over their prior 10 with the starting lineup, they are 7-3. And really a contrast of styles, guys, as we get set to see the tip-off. It's amazing what Duke's been able to do against Virginia when no one else in the conference has been able to do. They've beaten Virginia relatively routinely. Jack Salt will jump center, big fella. Stands 6'11", 247, and they're going to have to keep him on the floor and not get into any foul trouble with the advantage Duke has size-wise. Expect Grayson Allen to be booed every time he touches the ball. And right away, we're going to get a screen call violation against Jason Tatum.
Yeah, it was a very smart play by Shayok. He saw the dribble handoff coming. What you do, just run right into it, right in front of the official. That was an easy call to make.
Early foul for Tatum. Haven't seen much of Virginia this year. It's the same you get every year from Virginia. They'll use a lot of the shot clock before they put up a shot.
Parenta is being guarded by Matt Jones, one of the best defenders in the country.
Great pass from Shayok to Salt.
Virginia does such a great job of running deliberate offense. That's an offense they call sides. It's really the old mover blocker that Dick Bennett ran for so many years, and it is really difficult to deal with.
Tatum getting more and more comfortable on the offensive end. Three from Allen, no, and the rebound on a run out for Virginia. And they don't run it out, they pull it back.
You know, one of the things when Virginia runs those screens on the baseline and they get deep and they curl, if you step your big guy up, it's going to be an easy drop-off, so Duke is going to have to defend that tonight.
That's exactly what happened on that first play. And you've really got to do a good job of helping up but staying connected at the same time. Taking the curl away, but also the drop-off.
Shayok have a game, a good pass for an assist, and now a three-point shot. And if you wanted the crowd to be in it, a 5-0 start against Duke's a good way to do that. Parentis right in the face of Matt Jones. Tatum will try a three. No good. Offensive rebound for Duke. And Jefferson working on Salt, gets him in the air and lays it up and in.
Well, Emil Jefferson, you know, Jay, is such a critical part of this team. Those multiple possession plays he gives you. You miss an open three, and he gets the offensive rebound to get you on the board.
And that's the kind of thing that Tony Bennett hates to give up. They play really good defense for 25 seconds and then give up an easy one because they don't rebound.
It's usually a pretty good defensive rebounding team.
One of the best teams in the country at limiting second shots for their opponent. That's going to be important not only in tonight's game, but on Saturday when Virginia takes on North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Parentis guarding, and it looked almost like Kennard got a push-off. We're going to call a foul on Salt underneath.
Watch Shayok here curling the screen, and when Jefferson helps up, that's going to leave Jack Salt wide open.
And this is Emil Jefferson, the guy who does all the dirty work, he and Matt Jones around the paint. But Duke needed that one as they missed some wide open threes.
Allen, jump step. misses, and a rebound to Virginia. Grayson Allen 0 for 2 to start.
Jack Salt did a really nice job of helping because he can recover late to Emil Jefferson, who is not a good perimeter shooter.
Offensive work on the glass by Salt. Jack Salt, the 6'11", 250-pounder from Auckland, New Zealand.
And those really hurt because Jack Salt's not the type that's going to create his own offense. Do a good job of making Virginia take a tough shot and then give up an easy second one.
5-second violation, so a turnover.
Well, you can feel the presence of this defense. I mean, they are so well schooled. I think people all around the country watch this pack line defense. There's a lot of people that try to emulate it, but nobody does it as well as UVA.
That's exactly right. Doug, you know, I'm a big believer that we always talk about establishing a rhythm on offense. I think teams can establish a rhythm on defense. And Virginia does that as well as anybody in the country. They get their defensive rhythm established, and then they're hard to get out of it.
Shayok, a long one, fading away, no good. Loose ball, rebound to Virginia. Parentis, long three. London Parentis is a terrific scorer, almost 16 a game in conference, but in the games he's played against Duke, he's averaged only 6 points a game. Another offensive rebound, and that's a walk. Tatum took a couple of extra steps. Virginia off to a good start. They lead at 7-2. Duke's gotten their rebounds, but they've only got one basket.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Applebee's Bourbon Street Chicken and Shrimp and Advil. Fast, powerful.
NBA analyst Jay Billis, of course, the king of the college courts. You're in this atmosphere. Does it bring you back to the days of college, Illinois State? Your son?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And, you know, the years that I was able to go down to Duke and watch Chris down there as a player, whatever. But, you know, I go back. I was broadcasting college for CBS when I first started. I think one of the last games I did was Jay Billis in the NCAA tournament. They beat Navy with David Robinson to go to the Final Four. So I go back a long way with Jay Billis.
So long, I was going to say, so long
that hair.
There may be people watching who unfortunately don't even know who David Robinson is.
Oh,
that's not good. Google him. He was unbelievable. The Admiral. Good drive by Parentis with the shot clock down below 6.
Boy, Duke has not done a good job of protecting on those curls. You've seen it drop off. Parentis gets all the way to the rim. Their defense has been soft here to start this game.
And you have to defend it over and over again because they keep running it, Virginia does not get impatient at the end of a clock.
Frank Jackson in, Grayson Allen out for Duke. Tatum misses the layup, but a chance for Virginia. But Shayok will push it and miss it. The follow-up around and out. Real good effort by Hall.
Virginia's help defense, Jack Salt, Isaiah Wilkins, has been excellent. Their positioning is so good.
You know, guys, this is what I was talking about with that curl. We've seen the drop off when the big has stepped up high. This time, Parentis, who's their leading scorer, watch him comes in. This time you see Emil Jefferson is so afraid to help. You've got to stunt from the top there. That Frank Jackson has got to get back in the lane and force them to kick that ball out and make them shoot some perimeter shots.
Couple of substitutions. Darius Thompson now in. Ty Jerome has been very good, number 11. Salt goes to the bench as well. Also in, Mamadi Diakite.
Ty Jerome was excellent against Villanova at 15 points in that game. He's going to be a really good player.
Kennard followed his shot. We're going to have a jump ball, and the possession arrow goes to Virginia. Thursday on ESPN, number 11, Wisconsin, the Badgers, top team in the Big Ten, battling Michigan, 7 Eastern time. Then Eugene, we go out west, the Pac-12 matchup, the Utes and Dylan Brooks, who leads Oregon. Both games streamed live on the app and watch ESPN. Coach Tony Bennett will give you 8, 9 different players. Duke's bench has not been as deep, and that's one of the reasons Virginia outscores the opponent by almost 300 points when it comes to their bench. It's going to stay right here. Look like they're going to get Harry Giles, who's checked in.
He's had a tough time blocking out Diakite.
Now if they change it, they're going to call it on Emil Jefferson.
You know, watching Virginia on TV, you don't get a sense of the physical size and the strength and the power they play with. This is a physical team.
Yes.
Older guys, but they get into you. You better get your body on them or they're going to win those battles.
One of the more impressive practices I've seen as far as defensive awareness. I mean, watching Tony Bennett and his staff teach defense and watching how the players will do it, it's really impressive.
Well, they practice what they preach, then they play what they preach. And the defense has forced Duke into a real rough shooting night so far. They've made only 1 of 8 field goals. Jefferson may have gotten away with some extra steps, and Kennard makes a 3.
That's those open threes. I think Duke has had about 4 open threes they have not knocked in. The one thing, Jay, I don't know that Duke is going to be able to beat them just playing one-on-one. That's when they really load up on you. And so we'll see as this game goes on. Virginia, with a lot of movement in their offense. Duke spreads you and plays a lot of one-on-one.
I think if Duke can move the ball a little bit, then attack, and then kick the ball out, they'll get some open shots. Because that pack line does not, it doesn't like to extend beyond that 3-point line.
Good steal and a breakaway, and we're going to get a foul. Ty Jerome reached.
Well, you know, the essence of any good offense is can you change sides with the ball? Because when you're so well-schooled like Virginia is, they're going to get over on the weak side, and then if you can get back to the other side of the floor, you get them moving. Now you get them to make mistakes.
Well, you got a defense that gives up just 55 and an offense that scores 81. So far, edge defense, but Duke can run off some points in a hurry.
Yeah, I don't know if you can score 81 in a game unless there's a number of overtimes against this Virginia defense.
Grayson Allen splashes a 3, so after starting out 0 for 4 from 3, Kennard and Allen both bang them in, and now it's a 1-point game.
Well, it's what Jay was talking about. Drive and kick, get in the gap, make 2 guys play you, and now somebody can get you on the open 3.
In this 1-2-2 3-quarter court pressure, it was more containment. But that takes time off the clock. Now Duke doesn't have to guard this half-court offense quite as long.
Jared Reuter, 31 for Virginia, into the game. We're going to get an offensive foul.
One of the things Grayson Allen does so well, you think about him being a dynamic driver, but he's really a great catch-and-shoot guy. And that was just great rhythm because he was able to get it off the penetration by Frank Jackson.
And you know what, he's really settled down. I thought he went through a stretch where after he was suspended, he came back, and I think he was tentative, a lot of things going on, but the last few games, he's been playing as a point guard for them, and his play has really been lifted. He's one of the reasons why they've won 5 in a row.
Yeah, he, Kennard, and Tatum have taken off, and you have combinations with Kennard and Allen. They shoot 47%. Kennard and Tatum 49% as a tandem. That's a tough shot. That shot works at the next level there, Coach.
Yeah, he's such a skilled player. You know, Jay and I were talking beforehand, you know, these young kids from Duke didn't get a chance to practice, you know, with these injuries. It's tough to come right in and start playing. I don't care how talented you are. You need practice.
Matt Jones just all over Ty Jerome, and Virginia can't start any offense because of it.
They're starting to pick him up further down the court. If they were guarding Billis, they'd have to pick him up 94 feet away. We will get into that conversation. Little one-on-one crossover. Billis and the coach.
What happened to those shorts?
You see the size of my feet? That's like 180 steps. That ain't no 94. Of course, Doug was the #1 overall pick by the Sixers in '73. Over 7,400 points, a 4-time All-Star. And he coached Jordan with the Bulls and the Wizards. Just part of the great resume. 2 observations from the 94 feet. When Jay said the great Doug Collins, you didn't flinch.
He said, go on.
And then secondly, how literally you took the question, where were you physically?
Yeah, I mean, I was just following the lead.
I loved it.
I thought you were going to tell me how much you could bench press.
No, I would not do that. I was like Kevin Durant. I could get 185 up one time at the draft camp.
That's not the way it is anymore. And speaking of weights and withstanding a punch, Duke certainly withstood that first punch and now have gone on a run to grab a 10-9 lead.
Duke kind of took away the rhythm of Virginia by going to that 1-2-2 because the time it takes to get the ball up court, they don't have to guard as long in this half-court offense, and it's been really beneficial.
And their shooting from the outside has not been good so far for Virginia. They've gone scoreless for now 5 minutes.
Isaiah Wilkins hedges out up top, and he's got to go. He's got to run all the way back and try to stay in front of Grayson Allen off the dribble. That's asking a lot of a big guy defensively.
You know, that's almost the play that he hit the shot against them to beat them last year. That where he sort of leans in and gets contact, and he steps back off that 1 foot, and he can kiss that ball off the glass. That's a very tough move to defend, and it's tough to referee because who's creating the contact?
Tough pass as Werder had his hands up there and deflected it on the inbounds.
Yeah, that was almost a layup. Oftentimes in that set, the screener is the one that's going to be open rather than the cutter.
Great move by Emil Jefferson with the left hand.
He loves to take it to the right and make that spin move and come back and use the rim as a shield off that backboard when you can't get to a shot.
And Duke go into their elbow series where they can get an isolation, and from the elbow in they can force one-on-one defense by the Virginia big guys.
All right, where is Virginia going to get their points from if they're cold from the outside?
This guy.
Parentis knocks down a three. There you go, free him up. Ends a 10-0 run for Duke.
Parentis is the guy that's got to have the big game. Like Shayok can score, Wilkins can have a nice game, but Parentis has got to have 20.
Kennard threw some contact, threw it up, didn't get the foul call, and we got one underneath on Duke.
Okay, this is what you were talking about, that little elbow series. You drive him, he cuts you off, and there's no help. He swings back in with that left hand, uses the rim to protect himself.
You get caught going over the top of that screen, little fade out to the corner, and London Parentis is as good of an open shooter as there is in the ACC. In his first 3 years here, he had Malcolm Brogdon to go to. He didn't look to score as often, and now that he needs to be a primary scorer, he's shown he can really do it.
What I love about him is the pace he plays as a point guard, especially the way this team runs their offense. They're never scattered.
Shayok took Kennard to the hole, and he missed the layup.
That's the way Duke has to win the game. Defensive rebound, push the ball, drive, get help, and kick for threes. Early offense. You don't have to play against that pack line defense.
Yeah, when that defense can get back and get set, and the entire defense is moving into you as you come up the court, it's hard to score against.
Good pass down low, and a nice look from Parentis to Reuter.
That's twice now where the big guy is helped up. The last time the guy read the screen when he tried to shoot the gap, he faded to the corner. So 5 points off that little down screen in 2 different ways you could get them.
Allen, great pass and good hands on the catch, and the flush from Harry Giles.
Grayson Allen for the second year in a row leading this team in assists. Last year Allen averaged about 21 points a game. He had to do the lion's share of the scoring. This year he doesn't.
Woo! Pretty move with that reverse, Devin Hall.
And once again, you saw Luke Kennard that tried to cheat it, and when you do that as an offensive player, you fade to the baseline and then either shoot the ball or drive it to the rim.
Virginia makes such good reads as a defense. They may not be as talented, especially up front. They have a hard time scoring with their front court guys, but tell you what, this is a well-drilled team.
Allen fadeaway misses. Good hustle by Parentis. It looked like he was close to losing the ball, but he tipped it to his teammate.
Really, all 5 guys for Virginia go to the defensive glass. The guards don't leak out. They get in there and help.
On the shot clock, Parentis fadeaway 3. It's way long and an air ball. And they get a shot clock violation. Good game, Doug. 17-16. We all know about the being John Malkovich. How about being the neighbor of John Malkovich?
That is true.
He grew up with John Malkovich as his neighbor.
No way, really?
I did.
We got to hear the stories. We'll do that when we come back.
If there was any...
Welcome back, everyone. Carl Ravitch, Jay Billis, the coach Doug Collins, and one of the things you looked for, Doug, coming into this was how quickly one team was going to be able to get a shot off and vice versa. Duke's had only 3 possessions, which have lasted 10 seconds or fewer.
Yes, well, so they're playing right into the way Virginia wants. They're going to get you down and grind you.
Right. And
it's tough to shoot a high percentage when you get late in that clock. And Virginia's used to taking those kind of shots because that's the way they want to play.
I promise we'll get into the being the neighbor of John Malkovich in a moment. And now that we got a foul call, let's do that. Let's flush that out. What was that? When did you know? I mean, like this is an interesting dude.
I would have never known that about him when he was young. He was a huge sports fan. His grandmother owned the Benton Evening newspaper, and my dad was a sheriff. I grew up in the county jail.
Really?
Yeah, I was like Opie. my dad was a sheriff. My uncle was a deputy. My grandmother was the cook. And John Malkovich's grandmother owned the newspaper, a small community. But when he went to Illinois State, actually, he started getting involved, and then he went to Second City there, Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, and that's really when it took off. The Cusack family, Gary Sinise, and that's really when I saw him start to take off as an actor.
Still friends?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't see him that much very often because he's spends a lot of time out of the country now.
I grew up next to the Mitchell twins. One of them actually went to Virginia, so that's the tie-in there, but nobody famous.
How about
you? You know who's a neighbor? And Chuck Norris lived in my neighborhood, and I'm sure he brags about living near me a lot.
Was he out in the backyard breaking things all the time?
No, he had a karate studio down by the bowling alley, and it was pretty popular. I wasn't allowed in.
Ooh, big block at the rim. Marquez Bolden just showed up.
Marquise Bolden has got great feet, and he is big and strong.
Begging for the ball down low. He's got a mismatch down there with Thompson on him.
Now he's got an NBA body. I mean, you look at his shoulders, and this kid's got a chance to really fill out. I mean, he's got quick feet. I've really never seen him in person before. He barely beat the shot clock. That's a very low percentage shot. And if I'm Marquise Bolden, I'd say, throw me the ball in the post, please, and let me catch it. I'm working down there hard. I just blocked the shot. Reward me just a little bit.
We had Darius Thompson on him early, then Wilkins switched back on, and Duke was trying to get a little high cross screen and get a drive.
Got to shoot it. Is that more about Duke's defense or Virginia's offense?
It's a little bit both, but that 1-2-2 three-quarter court pressure has been really helpful.
And Jay and I were talking about this the other day. I thought the last couple times I've watched Duke play, their defense has been better than it was earlier in the year. And, you know, the amazing thing about Duke is Duke has always prided themselves on shooting more or making more free throws than their opponent attempts. Neither team has gotten to the free throw line tonight. To me, that favors Virginia.
And one of the things I think that's helped Duke's defense is getting Emil Jefferson healthy. Because he went a number of games where he has not been himself. Missed a couple with that bruise in his foot, bone bruise, and not been the same.
How about the ability to switch and switch back? We just saw as Allen launches a three, in and out. And the rebound of Virginia. Terrific job defensively that trip down. Grayson Allen, 1 of 6.
Grayson Allen hasn't gotten anything easy. Nothing in transition. He rushed his first shot. He had an open three and rushed it.
They are trying to feast on that back cut. That one went off the fingertips of Shayok. The NBA All-Star Weekend starts Friday in New Orleans. The celebrity game this year on ESPN. The Sixers, Jamel Hill, she'll coach G East. Michael Smith coaches the West. Little help from Draymond Green. 7 Eastern time, Superdome streams live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. That's going to be a tough goal for Hill and Smith. Access denied at the rim. Golden has to eat one. Shayok wide open three, in and out. Grayson looking for contact. There really wasn't much.
And that was an early attack, which means Duke's going to spend that much more time on defense. Sometimes you play against Virginia, it becomes a time of possession game.
Come your free throws as Wilkins drew the foul underneath. 3:33 to go in the first. Golden picks up his first in a 3-point game.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of
Interested not only in what Walton and Vitale saw, but what they actually said. I mean, there was a Sports Center hit tonight with Walton. He went 11 straight.
My guess is there was a lot of discussions about the history of volcanoes.
No doubt. How about Duke, who scores 81 points a game, almost 82, stuck at 19 with under 4 to go in the first. It's amazing how Virginia really imposes the will on one of the best offenses in the country.
And they do it without fouling, which is pretty amazing. Duke has shot 2 free throws. That's the first 2 for Virginia. We played almost 17 minutes in this game. And it's not like it's not a physical game. Exactly.
And when they extend the catch, they do a great job. They got another foul right there on the dribble handoff because there's movement to catch the defender on the cutter. And it's been called on each side of the floor in this first half.
That's what you teach, though. You teach your guys as a coach on these dribble handoffs. If that guy is moving and doesn't get his feet planted, go right into him and put the onus on the foot. That's a moving screen, and they've seen it twice now here with Duke here early in this game.
Number 55 stands out, the defense for Virginia, and Jefferson picks up his 3rd foul, so he goes to the bench. Harry Giles already with double-digit minutes.
Good fade.
That time Giles went straight up on the defensive end, and it proved to be a tough shot.
I think Duke gets a break on this play. I think he was trying to pass that ball to Giles on the lob on this Jay. I don't know what you think, but the last minute he did try to get it up with the rim. They're going to get him 2 free throws. It looked to me he was trying to throw a lob on that play. You tell me what you think on this play.
I thought the same thing, but really the key was Tatum being aggressive in transition after they got the stop on one end to get up the court, because you're not going to be able to get into the lane as easily once you're running 5-on-5 half court. If you can push it up the court quickly, then you've got a chance.
I'll tell you, one thing I've been impressed with Tatum recently in the games is how well he's rebounded.
Yes.
And you look at him, it's up. He's got good size. And when you're a guy like this that can handle the ball, and if you can rebound it, you can push the ball out and start a fast break without even having to get it to the guards. They can get ahead. You can get early offense throwing that ball up the floor.
He's a 15.7 rebound guy now.
Yeah.
He's made all 4 of his free throws tonight. It's a 3-point game with 2:40 to go in the first. And they're doing this with Kennard and Allen missing 10 shots between them. They're 2 of 12.
Now the first screen didn't come till 19 seconds on the clock because of that 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure. Slowing that advance has meant Duke does not have to guard quite as long.
And Parentis lost it, got it back, fades away, can't get it to go.
Well, that's quite a battle between Matt Jones and London Parentis. 2 of the savviest seniors in the league.
Double team came quickly, and the turnover. Like Giles may have got one in the teeth. There's the 3. It goes down for Ty Jerome. Like Harry Giles on that turnover. Took one in the chops. We'll take a look at that when we come back. We're tied 21-21 here in Virginia.
Let go of the ball, but anytime the ball goes inside, there's going to be a post-to-post double. And Harry Giles looking into the middle, got hit. The ball went right to Mariel Shayok. And I don't know whether he let it go before he got hit. He got hit. It looked like he got hit right after he let it go.
The important thing, if you're going to trap the post and double team, that guy coming over has got to get into that guy's body and be physical where he can't see the guy to pass through. Kennard was the open man, but he couldn't find him.
Kennard, that's blocked at the rim. Loose ball is collected by Virginia. Parentis all the way to the hole, and he got hammered.
Diakite on the other end saved an easy basket for Duke. And Virginia, they want to force the ball into the middle. You get a baseline drive against this pack line defense, and there is no help. And Diakite came over. He was on the weak side and knocked that ball away. That was a huge play defensively.
Coach, tell me about the difference defensively between college and the NBA. And this may be a little different because of Virginia's defensive tenacity, but is there a difference?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I think one of the things that both levels have tried to do, Carl and Jay, is get freedom of movement into the game. It was becoming so physical that skill was being negated by guys being able to grab and hold. And basketball is a game of skill. Now, you have to be strong, obviously, and all those kind of things, but it's a game of skill, and when you can grab and hold and negate that, you lose the beauty of the game.
All right, if the last minute and a half of the first half goes like, you know, the first part of the first half, Duke's going to be held under 30. That's really remarkable defense by Virginia.
There's a turnover, and they have been in their face all night.
I'm a big guy on closing halves, closing quarters. Looked like Duke, they had gone up 3. They had a chance to do that couple turnovers. Jerome hits a 3. They get to the free throw line. So there's a chance for UVA to get a little separation going into the halftime.
And Jerome coming into the game playing the point. That lets London Parentis work off the ball where he can be even more of a threat to score.
7 turnovers in the game for the Blue Devils. Kennard tips it away. Will collect with under 10. Great defense and a block and a Duke possession. Looked like Harry Giles, and you could tell me, Jay, may have gone up before he had the ball.
Yeah, he wanted to score right away, just lost it as he was going up.
But you know, the essence of defense is they speed you up.
Yep.
And you've seen here as they've been sped up is when you start making mistakes. And that's what Virginia does. They wear on you over a course of time. And that's what you have to be so disciplined and stay with what you're trying to do.
Interior work by Virginia, and their lead is 4 with 8 seconds to go in the first half.
Allen twisted an ankle, and he's limping up the floor.
Yep. That'll end the half. Kennard complaining about the contact. 8 fouls for Virginia, 5, now 6 for Duke in the game. We're going to keep an eye on Kennard and Allen. Allen getting helped off the floor by Matt Jones as he rolled that ankle.
Mamadi Diakite made so many good plays in this first half, but keeping this ball alive was yet another one. He keeps the ball alive, gets it to Shayok, and all of a sudden, we've got a completely different feel in this game with Virginia in a 4-point lead.
Frustration for Coach K. One of the star players turned that left ankle. Virginia's got a 4-point lead as we send you back to the studio. Reese Davis, Seth Greenberg, and Jalen Rose. Virginia's defense, and neither team shot very well. I'm just curious, when you see a team like this, is this something you can actually teach? Is that what happens here when you come, you figure out if you're going to be part of this, you've got to play this way?
Exactly. You know what system you're coming into. And I mean, Tony Bennett's father was a terrific defensive coach as well. Remember the Final Four when he was in Wisconsin. But what they're going to do is they're going to be physical. And their big guy is really going to show out. Watch how he shows out to try to redirect the dribbler so you can't get any penetration. You contest shots, and that makes it very difficult. Those three top leading scorers for Duke, 3 for 15 for only 13 points. Well, look at him now. The shots that you're going to get, the turnovers, 4 assists, 8 turnovers for Duke in the first half.
Amazing. And on offense, Lendon Parentes on that little curl. He reads the defense so well. Here he fades. And you can see that Matt Jones, a great defender, tries to cheat and go over. He just fades to the corner, wound up scoring 5 points in a row just off making great reads of the defense.
Parentes and Jason Tatum, the leading scorers. Again, lowest point total in any half this season. 51 points. Doug talked about it. And Allen, Kennard, and Tatum tonight have 13. So how do they start? With a drive from Matt Jones.
It's so hard when you hedge out up top. Jack Salt hedged out. Then he's got to recover. And how are you going to be in help side position on Matt Jones's drive?
Parentes in amongst the trees, and he lost it. Tatum, tough layup. Just like that, a 4-0 run ties it up. Both sides, coach, very physical. Parentes is it's just almost like he was knocked in the face. He's reeling a little.
Well, Duke had gone the last 8-20 without a field goal. You come out, get a couple layups, get the lid off the basket, and Virginia has struggled in their last 3 losses in the second half. And, you know, you just start thinking about those things, Jay. Those things become mental.
It's so hard to get a rhythm when you play against Virginia. You're used to getting a certain amount of shots, and Luke Kennard, Grayson Allen haven't been able to get any kind of offensive rhythm.
Once again, shot clock at 4. Tough shot, gets the roll, does all.
This is a team that lives at the end of a shot clock.
Sure.
Yeah, they do not panic as the shot clock's going down.
And that's another, got to get into you got to be comfortable doing that, because you're not used to that.
And when it's happened to, as you know, when you expend as much energy as they do on the defensive end, you're going to have some scoring droughts.
Tatum 3, he knocks it in.
Well, that's a heck of a pass by Grayson Allen, that little skip pass, because the help was packed into the lane.
All the way over on the strong side of the floor.
Jason Tatum was wide open.
Allen rolled his ankle just before the half. He taped it up during the half, and he's on it, but it's a little bit ginger, you can tell. Pressure defense forces a turnover. To Doug's point, Virginia's defense in their 6 losses, their second half, it's amazing the points, but the shooting percentage at 61% in second halves of their losses is an astronomically high number for Virginia.
Yeah, they don't have very many losses, but I think it's really remarkable what Tony Bennett has done with this team. They lost Austin Nichols early in the season. He was going to be their inside scorer. And you can see the pure talent of Jason Tatum. He's just scratching the surface of how good he's going to be. He's going to be scary good.
And see, I scored, and when I get a layup, it makes me feel good. He got a layup here to start the half. Now he's hit a couple jumpers.
Yeah. You were wondering which player was going to, because it felt like somebody was going to have to start to make points and baskets, and Tatum now has 7 this half. Shayok, he gets it to go.
Just used that little screen on the handoff by Jack Salt, went behind it. Shayok's another guy that can put up double digits in a half.
Matt Jones knocks down a 3, and they've come out shooting really well in the second half.
Well, they're getting a hard roll off that high screen, and they're spreading the court really effectively. But when the roll is hard, I think that really helps the offense.
Well, they call it a little shake action, Jay, is what they call it, when the guy shakes up behind the guy. As he's rolling, his guy has to chuck the screener. You can't get back to him. You got to get up on top of the floor. You just can't get there after you bump the screener at the roll guy.
You played and coached for years, Coach. Do you enjoy a game like this where it happens to be a defensive struggle? You like the muck?
I love all kinds of games as long as they're competitive.
Yep.
You know, it could be 120 to whatever. I love competitive games. The beauty of the game to me is in the competition.
Well, again, both these teams, same record in conference, and it affects the bye, really, when it gets to the ACC tournament, whether you play on day 2, get a couple of days off. And still, big games left on the schedule for both teams.
Tall order to expect Jason Tatum to block out Jack Salt. Salt is so strong.
Duke shot 33% in the first half, and they are 5 for 5 here in the second half. Do you notice an adjustment they made?
Well, they got a couple layups, and then Tatum hit a couple J's, and then Matt Jones rolled up and hit one as well. So easy baskets, trigger, better shooting.
And plus they're playing 4 around 1 now.
Yes.
They put 2 guys. They're running that elbow series, so 2 guys were at the elbows is a little more congested. And right now they're spreading the floor much more.
Parentis, they'll count it, and the foul, and that's the 4th foul on Emile Jefferson. Figured he'd be a big factor. He's going to the bench. We take a look at the standings. Carolina wins again by 20 tonight over NC State. And then Louisville and Virginia, Duke and Florida State all a game back.
Four points and 2 rebounds in this game, but he set so many good screens. Look at this good screen he sets against Matt Jones, and that means that Emile Jefferson's got to step up. That was his 4th foul, and only 4 points, 2 rebounds only, but he's handed out double-digit bruises in this one.
You feel him every possession out there. He's one of those guys, he's going to put a body on you.
Boy, that 4th foul on Jefferson was a huge play in this game.
Good cut. Allen lays it up and lays it in, and a good play out of the timeout for Duke.
See, Duke's got 3 layups in this first part of this second half. You saw none of those in the first half, entire 20 minutes.
Going back to this 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure, and I think that that's a great strategy, because right now not a pass has been made in the half court. 15 seconds on the clock.
Tough pass. They try to get it into Salt, and it was picked off by Giles.
I think the 1-2-2 takes away any offensive rhythm that Virginia can establish by moving the ball side to side and really getting a bunch of movement. Makes them more stationary.
The big minutes tonight for Giles, and certainly Tatum continues to play big minutes with Jefferson now with 4 fouls. That one was either deflected or fouled, but nothing called.
There he is. People want to foul on that, but 2 guys going after the ball is basically incidental contact. That's why the referees didn't call it.
I agree with that. It's a play on. That's just an aggressive play.
Ended up with a good shot with Parentis 3, but for a second it looked like Wilkins didn't realize they had a basically 2-on-1 underneath on that offensive rebound, and he threw it back out.
See, that action that Duke just run, when they bring Matt Jones back after Giles' screen, I'd love to see him throw the ball into the post and let him get a post catch. They're doing everything from outside in. Let's work inside out a little bit.
And a tough shot that was awfully quick, and now they got to guard. They just guarded for 30+ seconds. Now they got to do it again.
Yes.
Good hands again. Second possession we've seen Giles getting away and steal the ball.
So your big guy's got a couple steals. Let him touch the ball down in the post. Let him get a taste of it down there.
Old school. Luke Kennard does that as well as anyone.
His footwork is impeccable.
We'll take a timeout. 37-32. Blue Devils red hot to start the second half.
If there was any way to make the $10 any pizza carryout deal from
Got 7 of 10 in the second half, and as they come out of a timeout, we look back on a timeout. Better Decisions brought to you by Sony View.
That's a nice little play out of the timeout, the little bump at the top and the easy layup. Duke 7 for 10. Interestingly, Virginia has 4 turnovers here in the second half. They had 4 in the first half. They averaged 10 for the game for the season, which is 4th in the nation. So when you play a low possession game, you can't turn that ball over.
And again, only 5 points each for Kennard and Allen tonight. Tatum's got 14 now.
Well, one thing Virginia's got to do, they got to start converting on these offensive rebounds that they're grabbing.
Top three, long three from the corner, and a big shot by Ty Jerome.
He's the one that hit that shot in the first half when they were really bleeding to try to get a bucket.
He was so good. He had double hip surgery in high school, was kind of out of the loop in the high school circuit, but he is absolutely unafraid when he steps onto the court.
43% from three-point field goal. Just the thought of double hip surgery sounds awful.
I've had it. You don't want it.
Wait, how about that play by Harry Giles? First, the double team and passing it cross court along the baseline, and then that offensive rebound. Really impressive.
But I figure they have some work to do. And now Virginia watches Tatum knock down a 3.
That's Giles.
Giles, I'm sorry.
Giles has had a really good game.
Yes, he has.
For him to go on the road here at Virginia and to play these quality minutes, that's really impressive for him.
And Jay, to follow up on when Emil Jefferson picked up that 4th foul, you talked about how important it was for him to come in and play like that. Really lessens that blow.
Yeah, and he's got a couple steals.
Yeah.
He's been alert defensively.
5 points, 3 rebounds. Kyle Guy into the game. He's a sharpshooter. So they have Guy and Jerome, both threats from the outside, now on the floor. And Jerome knocks down a jumper.
Just plays with great pace.
Kennard, they say there was contact. It almost looked like the Virginia defensive players moved away from him. But he'll go to the line as one of the better free throw shooters in the country. Thursday, number 11, Wisconsin, the top team of the Big Ten. They'll take on the Michigan Wolverines at 7 Eastern time. And then Eugene for a Pac-12 matchup. The Utes and the Oregon Ducks. Both games streamed live on the app and watch ESPN. Mentioned Wisconsin earlier as see Jack Salt underneath there. He's from Auckland, New Zealand. There was a player for Wisconsin with Tony Bennett's dad as head coach that led ultimately to Jack Salt's awareness of Virginia.
Yeah, it was Kirk Penny. He played there, I can't remember, the early 2000s.
Yeah, I was actually doing the Olympics at that time, and he played for the New Zealand team. They had that little dance they would do before the game.
Yeah.
It was really neat to watch. The haka, or what, it was really fun to watch. The opposing team would just stand and just watch.
Did you ever do it? Did you try it?
I'm not a very good dancer.
The hips, you fixed the hips? I thought you could do it.
I played to my strengths.
Jerome, tough contested 3. There were still 5 on the shot clock.
Well, Duke has taken away whatever offensive rhythm that Virginia could establish. They established some rhythm early on in the game, but I really think that 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure was a game changer.
How about Tatum? Man, has he become a scoring threat. He's got 17 now for Duke.
Well, we talked about it, Jay. When Duke gets that ball deep in the paint like that, Virginia's going to collapse defensively. That little inside-out pass kills you. And Kennard is a very underrated passer. He did a nice job getting in there and has read the screen roll very well. He sees the big guy and watch him. He gets in. 2 guys. Look how many people are in the paint now. And now you can't get out quickly enough to get to that shooter.
Yeah, Diakite has got to pick up the roll. And you can't guard that roll and get out to a shooter that's spread as far as Jason Tatum is spread out.
Jerome's going to have to throw it up again. Off the iron, work on the offensive glass, and Diakite comes away with it. Now he'll shoot it.
Virginia's getting, not that Diakite can't make that shot, but they're getting the wrong guy shooting too often.
They got to free up Guy. They got to get Parentes more shots. Jerome, cleaner looks, not off the dribble to beat the clock.
Well, this high screen and roll is really affecting Virginia.
You know what, Jay? What I've seen them do is Virginia's guy shows early, and what they're doing, Duke, is instead of coming off the dribble, they're slipping the big guy, and now he can't get back to him, and now the other guy on the weak side picks him up. You get a chain reaction. Now the weak side is open. So Duke's big guys are doing a better job getting out of that pick quicker.
But you wonder if Virginia even needs to guard it that far out.
They don't.
Like, why not just play with your heels on the three-point line? And if they want to set a ball screen out that far, go ahead.
You know what ends up happening is, like, this is the way we play. This is the way we play. And sometimes you've got to make an adjustment.
Well, they brought Parentis back in the game. He's 3 of 8. He's got 10 points. Largest lead for Duke, and perhaps a little danger time for a team that doesn't score Virginia in bunches.
Almost had another one. I mean, that was just a great shot that was missed. Yes. That was the right shot.
To your point, by the right guy, because Tatum's been real hot tonight. See if they can free Parentis up. Salt sets a high screen. Parentis got his face right there by Jones.
That's one of those that's a tough call. I mean, Parentis did a great job of creating the contact because he ultimately got the call. But if you're defending this, you go, wait a minute now. Like, I'm there. How did he threw his body into me? Now, the reach might have been what got the foul more so than the body contact.
Left hand came down in the face of London Parentis.
How about the other night in the game? Has any of you guys ever seen what happened in the game the night against Virginia Tech?
Never.
When he takes that ball and shoots it and it hangs up on the basket, alternating possession, goes down to Virginia Tech, they score and win the game at double overtime.
Tony Bennett yesterday at practice came over and said, you know, I hate to say this, but when that ball was hanging up there, I was waiting for Bill Murray to come out and hit the dynamite for Carl Spackler to, you know, for that thing to fall in so we can all celebrate.
The winning putt?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll show you that shot if you didn't see it. It's a almost impossible occurrence in a basketball game. This is what Doug was talking about. The ball not only hit the rim, it rolled around it, and then it stuck.
Impossible. Defies the laws of physics.
Plenty of time on the shot clock, but Allen launches a 3 and is off.
Boy, he catches that ball. There's no dip. It just goes straight up.
It's a one-piece shot, just quick release. This kid's got to get going.
Guy buries a 3, and he smiles on his way back to the defensive side. Man Bun brings this place to its feet. That was his first shot tonight.
He's one of those guys, he's got a swagger. He can get hot, put up points quickly.
Neil Jefferson with 4 back in the game, picks up the offensive rebound.
Where Virginia was fortunate there. Diakite went after a blocked shot that he shouldn't have. It almost opened up an easy second shot for Jefferson.
Jefferson with Parentis on him. Big mismatch. Kennard 3. That's out. Rebound and a good play by Diakite, who has fallen down. Guy. Good hands by Grayson Allen, who stepped out of bounds. He may not be the man, but right now, he's the guy.
None.
To the highest level, there are no more secrets.
None. See, this is where, as a coach, I used to love, can we get a bucket out of this timeout off a set play? Can I steal a basket?
Like Duke did when we showed the Grayson Allen cut to the basket.
Can you win the timeouts? Can you get a stop? Those are the ways you pick up points, and especially in a tough defensive game like this.
They free up Guy, who drives it, throws it up with his left hand. Who's it off of? So it may have gone off of Kennard's leg. It stays Virginia ball.
Isaiah Wilkins with almost another offensive rebound. You know, Virginia's got 10 offensive boards in this game, but they've only converted them for 4 points. And that's hurt the Wahoos a little bit. because getting those second opportunities and not converting, that takes a little air out of you.
And this is where I'd like to see that reset go to 20 seconds.
Yes.
And so you don't have to give another, because it would change, pick up the speed of the game, more possessions.
That's what they do in international basketball. Once it's in the front court, if you get a reset, it goes to 20. It actually goes to 14 because they have a 24-second clock, but the same concept. Because you don't have to bring the ball up. There's no reason to have the extra time.
And it changes the end of game. You know, you get an offensive rebound, you still might have to shoot the ball rather than have to take a foul.
Tatum on a shot that was contested.
There was a ton of contact there. This is a man's game.
Had it and lost it. About as physical a game as you've seen this year?
It's one of them. Yeah, it's one of them.
Bruising affair at 43-42. Well, Kennard almost came down with it, but he got rid of it. And now 5 on the shot clock and in trouble. Tatum's going to have to pull up. Got it! What a shot!
Well, that'll take the air out of you. Play great defense. Guy, it's an incredibly contested shot.
Right, and as great as that defense was, that's just great offense trumping it.
Sometimes offense trumps that.
Yeah, a great offensive player.
He's got 20 now. Guy, quick shot. Short.
There's Diakite keeping it alive again.
Guy's had some great looks. He just hadn't been able to knock it in.
Tony Bennett wants to talk it over. He calls a timeout. The Guy came in, made a shot. They put Ty Jerome on the bench. He's been their most effective outside shooter and still only a 4-point game. Saturday, double dip. SEC, ACC at 6 Eastern, 13th ranked Kentucky is in Athens. They'll take on Georgia. Then we take you to the Dean Smith Center, Chapel Hill. That's where our game day crew, Jay Reese, Jay Williams, Seth Greenberg will be there. Our Saturday primetime game. It's Virginia and North Carolina. Both games streamed live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. Another reason this game feels so big for Virginia. Your next game is Saturday at Carolina.
Well, Jason Tatum has been outstanding in this ball game. He's done it every way you can. He's driven the ball. He's pulled up for jumpers and has knocked them down. He's coming off a great game that he had against North Carolina. He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists against the Tar Heels. Had 19 points, 14 rebounds against Notre Dame.
Missed 3, no friendly roll after the battle. They're going to call that foul on Wilkins.
And that was once again Jason Tatum with a big defensive rebound. So his fingerprints are all over this game right now. If Duke is able to win this game, he's going to be the guy that's probably going to take him home tonight. Tony Bennett's not happy with the play.
But as physical as this game has been, there's only been 6 fouls committed by both teams.
4 for Virginia, 2 for Duke in this half, and they're just about even for the game.
That's a long way from the bonus. Diakite has had a big impact on this game without scoring. His defense and rebounding have been really good. This is activity level.
Shayok has struggled from the floor, 3 of 11. Jerome back in the game. He's been good. That ball deflected by Kennard.
I tell you, we've been all over how great Virginia's played defensively. Jay, I talked about it today. Duke is getting better defensively as this year is going on. They're getting healthy. They're having some practices, and you can see it paying off.
Absolutely. And especially when you got a leader like Matt Jones that is the leader of the band on defense.
How about the right hand by Luke Kennard after he got bumped?
He's got blood all over him, too. So if the referees see it, they'll have to stop the game. Looks like he's bleeding from his mouth.
Yep. It's on his left shoulder. We'll get a whistle here on the foul. Kennard is alerting the referee that he's got blood.
Hey, man, I just hit a field goal. I'm not coming out. I'm not telling that referee I'm bleeding. If I'm 0 for 5, I might say I got some blood. But after I score, Jay, I'm staying in.
Well, there's an example of Luke Kennard plays lefty, but he's a natural right-hander, which I can't even relate to that. That's just remarkable.
You know, Bobby Jones was like that I played with. He was a natural lefty, but he shot his jump shot right-handed, but he did everything else with his left hand.
He dunked a lot with his left hand.
He dunked a lot with both hands. Yeah, he was an incredible player.
Kennard addresses the blood dripping from his mouth. He comes back on the floor. I tell you, are you shocked, though, the fact that Virginia's got 42 points? They're only down 6. They've shot 15 of 48. They're 30% tonight.
But Carl, it's what we've talked about today. You know, Jay, we were sitting around. When you struggle to score, you're not going to shut people out. I mean, you got to find a way to get some buckets.
And there's no interior scoring, and that's really an issue. When all your points are coming from the perimeter, it makes you that much easier to guard.
No easy baskets. They don't get to the free throw line.
You guys mentioned it, losing Austin Nichols, who was off the team early after one game, hurt them on the inside as Parentis knocks down another one. He's having a very good game relative to the other games he's had against Duke. 14 points tonight for the senior.
Duke's lifting and going with that middle ball screen.
Kennard tried to dribble through, and he lost it. Speaking of Kennard, we'll take a timeout and see how he's putting in a lead. Less than 4 minutes to go, 48-44. Carl Ravitch, Jay Billis, and Doug Collins. Virginia has certainly imposed their will. I mean, fewest points scored by Duke in any game this year is 64. We're going to get a hold out of the break. Grayson Allen. Jefferson's getting some minutes with 4 fouls.
Well, you look at Duke. If you said if Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard are 5 for 20 from 4, 2 for 9, and you've got, what, 48 points, what do you think the chance of you be winning this game on the road?
Parentis pulls up, misses. Good rebound in traffic by Tatum, who's done everything tonight.
I love when guys go back there, if your wings go back and rebound the ball.
There's so much pressure on the offensive end on London Parentis to score. There just aren't enough options.
This has been Tatum's wheelhouse. He launches a 3,
wow.
Gets another one. Boy, he likes it when it gets under 10.
How poised is he for a young player?
That's just individual achievement out there. Didn't need a ball screen or anything. Just got his own shot on Isaiah Wilkins.
5 of 6 from three-point land, and the lead grows to 7. What a pass. Missed layup and a rebound for Tatum. Now he's got 9 rebounds to go with his 23 points.
Guys, I talked about the difference in the three-point line tonight and what that might mean in the game. Duke is +9 from the three-point line. They're winning by 7.
Virginia needs a stop.
Boy, Salt just gave Tatum a shot.
Well, they got it to the right guy, and there's 3 seconds on the shot clock. He's made them all so far. He makes another one! Jason Tatum, 6 of 7 from 3, 26 points, and a 10-point lead.
Well, how do you guard that?
You don't.
How do you guard that?
That's just great offense. Clock winding down a couple times. Deep 3, 6 for 7, 19 in the second half. Jay, you talk about how good he was against Carolina in the second half the other night, but it was amazing. You see Grayson Allen like, I'm going to get him the ball. He's the one that got it going. Everybody just got out of his way and said, go to work.
Both those over Isaiah Wilkins had an outstretched arm. It wasn't like that was poorly defended. That was a tough shot.
Well, I would think big picture, though, and we talked a lot about conference records. You have Kennard and Allen, to your point, Coach, struggling tonight. You now have a legit, if not #1 option in Tatum, and that's really come this year. How you look at Duke, I think, right? The perception of the team improved, isn't it?
Well, they've got multiple scorers. I mean, they've done a great job defensively. That's where they've really improved, is on the defensive end. But they've got multiple options to score. And Virginia does not have those same options.
Yeah, but hasn't he matured as a scorer?
Of course, yeah,
a lot better.
But you know what? He's the second leading freshman scorer in the league. You know, he's been scoring throughout the year. It's just he's having a spectacular game in this one.
You know what's amazing is how much he's respected by Allen and Kennard out there at this moment to get him the ball, knowing he's hot.
Good drive. They needed that. There's 8 points with 96 seconds to go. Watching Tatum, Doug, how does he translate at the next level? There's a lot of focus on Kennard here.
Well, I mean, you think of Ingram, who played at Duke last year, who's now playing for the Lakers and stuff. Long, rangy wings that can put the ball on the floor. I mean, the NBA game now is a game of playmaking. You know, it's a point guard-driven league in a lot of ways, but wings. You have guys that can make plays, Jay, can get in the paint, drive and kick, can shoot threes, have size, can rebound the ball. I mean, he's a prototypical NBA wing player.
He's long, he's athletic, he can handle it, and he can also defend. And the rebounding, I mean, he's been rebounding at a really high level, especially in the second part of his season, because you know, he missed the first 9 games. You know, this is a guy that didn't have a ton of practice time early on in the season. But, I mean, you can't teach that. That's not an X and O set that they're running. That's a guy that creates his own shot and is feeling it. And they've been going to him and going to him at the end of the clock.
You know, I've always said, you know what, make great coaches is great players.
Yep.
And every great coach, every Hall of Fame coach has had great players. And Coach K's had his share through the years, obviously. You see all these guys up there. These are NBA scouts putting up the reports right now. And,
did they say we like Tatum?
Oh, yeah, we love Tatum. Yes.
That report's not going to be a very long one, so you're going to draft him.
You know, this does speak to some of the issues, though, that we've highlighted throughout the game. Virginia's inability to hold leads and get outscored badly in the second half.
And how efficient the other team's offense has been. The last 3 losses, their opponents have shot 67% in the second half. And Duke in the second half has shot the ball very well.
57%.
Yeah, but part of it is when you're not making your opponent take the ball out of the net at all. And that's been an issue for Virginia. They can't score. And it's a team, when they play really athletic teams, they're not able to get to the free throw line. And so it just puts a ton of pressure. I really think not having Austin Nichols, and it's Austin Nichols' fault why they don't have him. But that's really hurt them because they've got no interior scoring.
That was an interesting, I'm sure you saw it, but Emil Jefferson was on the free throw line on the inbounds. He looks at Tatum and he mouths, "Get open. You go get open." And they foul Tatum. Team fouls. Virginia now 6, Duke 5, and Virginia's out of timeouts.
Well, Jay will tell you, there's no greater feeling you have as a player when you have the respect of your teammates. Like, we need you now. Get the ball and finish this game for us.
I heard that. I didn't know that.
Well, Johnny Dawkins used to say that to Johnny, right? Like, Johnny, go get the ball, please.
Everybody respected Johnny.
Yes.
That guy was a stud. Still is.
And as good a player as he was a better person.
No question. One of the all-time greats. I don't know a better guy.
And now Duke, a very good free throw shooting team this season, almost 75%, sends Luke Kennard to the line.
We didn't see much of Frank Jackson tonight. So really, he has not played much. We've not had a stellar night from Kennard and Allen. And you look up there, and Jay, you talked about it to me the other day. You said, you know, Duke is starting to play the kind of defense that now puts him in the talk of being a team that could win a national championship. Yes. Early in the year, they were a bad defensive team. Now it's starting to click in.
You guys both know from your experience how hard it is to win on the road. This is a tough place to win, but it feels like Duke is going to do it again to Virginia. Remarkable, Virginia's numbers against everybody else in the ACC the last 4 years, like 58-13, and they're looking to drop to 1-4 against Duke.
And Tony Bennett against is 2-9. It'll be 2-9.
Some substitution issues as Coach K is looking to get Emil Jefferson back on the floor after the Knicks and Thunder tonight over on ESPN SportsCenter at night. Max and the coach. Russell Westbrook's incredible first half of the season. They'll put under the microscope the rest of the NBA, NHL, more college hoops. Spring training, baseball is back. In fact, the champion Virginia baseball team riding the bus down south, watching this game on the bus. NFL news, everything else, SportsCenter at night after the Wednesday double dip on ESPN. It streams on the ESPN app. Watch ESPN. Jerome hits one high off the window. Again, no timeouts from Virginia.
And if you're going to have a free throw contest, well, Duke's got a bunch of good free throw shooters.
I don't think there was a foul called on the play.
Not sure whether it was a clock issue or what it was.
Inadvertent whistle.
Now, Matt Jones can run the baseline after this because it was a made field goal, even though there was a stoppage of play.
There's Jackson now. Duke is shooting 90% from the free throw line. They've only taken 10 of them, but they've made 9 of them.
Yeah, Frank Jackson is another good free throw shooter. He shoots close to 80%. When you've got guards like Luke Kennard, Grayson Allen, both of them shoot over 80% from the free throw line, it gives you a lot of confidence at the end of games.
See, these are situations, too, guys, where you work on it like you're not going to use the timeout, obviously, because in college you can't move the ball. Right. But plays that you can run right in, maybe get a set three or something like that. So this is where scouting report comes in with your Duke. What do they like to do in these kind of situations? Duke should be switching everything and trying to chase them off the three-point line.
Ten-point game will bring Jefferson in, send Jackson to the bench.
We're keeping that 1-2-2 three-quarter court pressure on. I really think that was a big factor when that started. Actually, it went man, but when that started midway through the first half, that really, I thought, turned the game.
See, that was the old San Antonio Spur hammer play right there, and the Duke read it. They covered the three-point shooter, and they gave him the two. You know, guys, this is what I was talking about with Virginia in the second half of their losses. The Villanova lost, you could see -11, West Virginia -10, Syracuse -16, and this is what has happened. And teams have been much more efficient offensively against them in the second half. And for Tony Bennett, the DNA of this team is defense, but somehow point in time, I think I saw something where in his time here, when they score 70 points, they're 92-6.
Right.
And the way the game is today, you've got to score.
Got to score.
But the sort of fly in all those number ointment is Duke. They held Duke to 70 or under, and they're going to do it again here in 10 of their last 11 meetings, and Duke's dominated.
Yeah.
So what does that say about Duke?
They're good.
Yes. And all the things that were said about in the preseason now are starting to come to the front.
13 of 14 from the free throw line. Guy, long three, way off, and Kennard with the rebound. And Duke is going to come into Virginia, get a huge road win, move a game ahead in the standings. And boy, what a night for Jason Tatum. They were really struggling with Allen and Kennard 5 for 20 tonight. Jason Tatum 8 of 12, 6 3-pointers, 26 points in 35 minutes. And 8 rebounds.
Well, without his fabulous performance, this game would have had a totally different feel. I mean, it might be 50 of 50 right now, but he was magnificent, absolutely magnificent, especially in the second half.
Well, you spoke about it. I mean, Virginia didn't have a guy like that because Duke locked in, you know, to their leading scorer, London Presentis, and nobody else could pick up the pace
Right.
for them. There was nobody else that they could find. Guy had some good looks, couldn't get anything going, and Jerome made a couple buckets, but nobody else could score.
You know, Virginia has lost so much from last year. I mean, I think it's remarkable. Their record is what it is. What a nice drive by Ty Jerome.
Unnecessary foul under a minute will send Jerome to the free throw line.
Virginia not only lost Malcolm Brogdon, who's going to have his jersey retired here on Monday, but they lost Anthony Gill, who was one of the best inside players, interior defenders in the league.
I coached Anthony Gill last year in that college all-star game at the Final Four. I was around him for about 4 days, and I said, I would have this young guy on my team.
Yep.
You talk about a winner. I mean, he was a special young guy and a terrific player. Undersized, but played big.
He's in Turkey playing professionally right now, and then Mike Tobey, the big guy at Virginia last year, is in the NBA. He's on his second 10-day contract in a row in the NBA.
I did Brogdon's game the other night in Milwaukee. He was starting. Dellavedova was hurt, and Brogdon had just come off a triple-double, was playing very well for them.
Point number 27 for Tatum. The way he was making his three-point shots, you figured he would just move back about 6 steps to shoot this free throw. Last 9 points have come at the free throw line for Virginia. Trading 2 for 2 free throws isn't going to help them win a game. And before the whistle, before the ball is even inbounded, they call it on Guy.
How about for your Duke now? Okay, so you're coming down the stretch of games. It's close games, and your 3 leading scorers all shoot 82% or better from the free throw line. Sometimes that's people don't look at how important that is. And Jay, you know, like the other day at Virginia Tech, Jerome went to the line, had a chance, missed the free throw, and Virginia Tech came back and won that game. You make 2 free throws, and you walk away with a win in that game.
Just salt wins away.
We've seen a lot of tournament dreams die at the free throw line. Good teams. Awfully impressive. They're 15 of 16 tonight from the free throw line. We're going to get the offensive push off. Now you get Virginia, who just lost in double overtime. They're going to lose here, and they got to go to North Carolina on Saturday.
Brutal week. Within 6 days to have to play on the road at Virginia Tech. And how about Virginia Tech losing Chris Clark? Terrible. I mean, their leading rebounder, a guy who's got triple-double ability, has had a triple-double, and now gone for the season. Just a horrible happening for them. And then John Egbunu for Florida out for the year. Florida, one of the teams that was really on the upswing.
That's how fragile it is now in college basketball. You have a great win and you lose one of your better players, and just what it does to you.
Well, Coach, the crossover's been an education.
It's been an honor.
I absolutely love it. Jay and I only get to work here once every year, and Carl, love your work.
No, it's been a pleasure.
You and my man Rick Sutcliffe on baseball, so take good care of him this summer for me, please.
I will. I usually rely on him to take care of me, but I will certainly tell him that you said hello again.
Well, we were lucky to have one of the all-time greats with us, Doug Collins.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
It doesn't get any better.
Game's been awfully good to me. 45 years in the NBA. I would have taken 45 minutes when I was 16.
Well, you've been good to the game. Nobody has loved the game more than you have. I promise you that.
Duke a winner. Final score 65-55. Jason Tatum 28 points. 8 of 12 from the floor and 6 of 7 from 3. As we just talked about, it's been a true pleasure to share the courtside seats with